Thank you for being here. I want to share with you something interesting that a fellow yogi gave me to read. It talks about breathing and how it affects your decision making in your brain. It says scientists have proven that slow, conscious breathing can help us make better decisions. They did a study with 56 students randomly assigned into 2-minute breathing exercises involving slow inhalation and extended exhalation. So half of these students did the slow breathing exercises, and the other half watched an emotionally neutral film. Then they were asked to perform a challenging 30-minute decision-making task with multiple choice answers. The bottom line is that people who did the slow breathing task had 50% more correct answers than the counterparts. So how's that for proof? At least for a group of sample of 56. We've been working on our knees. We're going to continue to do that, or to continue to protect our knees during this practice today. Let's start with helping our brains first with our slow breathing. Since we heard this research about how slow breathing can help our decision making. So as you are sitting, start with a neutral breath and just allow yourself to gradually build it instead of going right into it. Sometimes when you gradually build it, it gets deeper. And then be mindful of the breath as it comes into your body. And feel how your diaphragm moves with the breath. Feel how your lungs expand, how your ribs expand, how your belly expands. Now, this type of yogi breathing, sometimes it's called diaphragmatic breathing, sometimes it's called belly breathing. And really, diaphragmatic breathing and belly breathing are two separate things, because you can do diaphragmatic breathing without moving your belly. You can try it if you like. Just expand your diaphragm and just let your belly stay tight in. That's diaphragmatic breathing, but the real deep yoga breath is when you expand beyond your diaphragm and fill the entire abdominal cavity. This is called Dirga breath. Dirga swasam is the Sanskrit term for this yoga breath. I like starting our practices this way because it helps you center your mind on your body, helps release any stress and tension that you had right before you came into class, and it helps you focus. As you're breathing, pay attention to what your body's doing, making sure your shoulders stay relaxed and that your head stays right on top of the shoulders. Your spine is straight and long. Please bring your breathing back to normal. And let's take one deep breath together and Om in. Om. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner. Hi, Sue. Our hip flexors we're going to work on today as well, because when you have tight hips, it hurts the knees. It can hurt the knees. So we're not only going to work on our leg muscles, but also our hip flexors. And starting in a cross-legged position, if you are comfortable in that, we'll begin. Palms to heart center. Inhale, reach up with the fingertips. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm by the ear. Open the left side, push down in the left sit bone, and turn your head to look up underneath of the left arm. And see how just that action just helps move that arm back just a little bit. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, open your arms in a T. We're going to hug ourselves with our right hand over our left, elbow over elbow. So we're going to stack elbows, hands on our opposite shoulders, and then bring your forearms toward each other. And if you can touch your palms, touch your palms. If not, just go as closely as you can. And then push the forearms away. This is a shoulder opener here. So you want to feel your shoulder blades separate on your back. Try to keep your neck long and try not to crunch your shoulders up to your neck. Eagle arms. So this is upper back, shoulders. Inhale, unwind your arms. Arms in a T, inhale. Exhale, let them float down. Pause for a moment. And if you would like to switch the cross of your legs, if it's convenient for you and it doesn't hurt to go on the other side, it's good to try to stay balanced. And then hands come to heart center again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand floats down, right arm beside the ear. Now, from here, just experiment with yourself. If you turn your head to look down and then turn your head to look up and just see what that does to your shoulder. It's minuscule, but it is a movement to your shoulder when you look up. Keep pushing down in the right sit bone. And inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, arm comes down. Inhale, open. Hug ourselves with the right arm on top of left arm on top of right this time, stacking the elbows and then coming into your eagle arms. And once again, push the forearms away, keep the neck soft, and feel how this is stretching your upper back and opening your shoulder blades. Elbows are up, shoulder height. Unravel, shake your arms out, and then please come to Dandasana staff pose with your legs extended in front. And if you can't keep a neutral lower back, please elevate your hips onto something that enables you to have a nice long neutral spine. Okay, bring your shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Keep the chest open. All right, so right now, relax your legs for a moment, and then take your hands onto your patella. That's your kneecap. And just with your legs just totally relaxed, feel how that kneecap sort of like moves around in there. Can you feel it? Okay, so now flex the feet, point the knees up, drag your heels towards you. Now feel those kneecaps. See how rigid, you can't move them now. And that's why we want to strengthen the muscles, our quads and our hamstrings especially, and our ligaments and our tendons surrounding the patella. to help support it. So now into our Dandasana staff pose. Inhale, open arms in a T. Exhale, twist to the right. Let the left hand fall down, the right hand come behind. Warming up our twist. One more breath. And exhale slowly back to center. Bend the right knee. Place your fingers around your right shin. Flex the left foot. Now use your shin as leverage to push your chest forward and up and your head toward the ceiling. So your spine is nice and long. And then with your left foot flexed, we're going to raise the foot off the mat about 6 or 8 inches and then lower. So this is really big on the quads here. So if you get a cramp, kind of shake out of it. And then keep on doing a few more times. Keep your spine long. It's a lot more than it looks. Okay, one more. All righty. Now, don't completely relax the leg. Keep the toes up and the knee up. Take the right foot on the outside of the left leg. The left arm will hug this right knee in, and right arm comes forward. Inhale, exhale, twist again. So this is a deeper twist than we just did. Now this is getting into our glutes, piriformis, and the IT band down the outside of your leg. Keep breathing, keep twisting, moving your right shoulder back. Keep the left foot flexed. Take a deep breath here. And then as you exhale, bring your head around, your chest around, and keep spinning. Come on to your left hip, plant your hands on the mat. We're going to come into a modified side plank by pushing into your right foot and your left hand. So put your hand anywhere you need to get the leverage to lift your hips up. And then the right arm points toward the ceiling. And then breathe here for just a moment. This is for core stabilization. And then come on down and uncross. Return to staff pose Dandasana. Flex the feet, knees up, shoulders forward, up, back, and down, chest nice and open. And let's keep the chest that way as we open our arms in a T. Inhale, exhale, twist left. Right hand floats down to the outside of the leg. Left hand goes behind. Push the left shoulder back. And you might notice your left hip going back some too. That's fine. Keep your feet flexed. Inhale, exhale, come back to center. Bend your left knee, place the fingers around the left shin. Pull the calf toward you and your chest toward your legs so that you're lengthening your spine. Shoulders down, chest open. Flex the right foot, take a deep breath. Lift the foot up and then lower. Keep the foot flexed as you lift and lower, lift and lower. If you get a cramp, come out of it. And then go at your own pace a few more times, lifting and lowering, lifting, lower. Don't forget to breathe while you're doing it. And smile. It's always easier when you're smiling. You don't think about it so much. Okay, now foot down, keep the leg engaged. Left foot comes over the right. Right arm hugs the left knee in. Inhale, left arm forward, exhale, twist again to the left. So now you're using your right arm as leverage to twist. Push the left shoulder back, and this just gets a little bit deeper than the twist we just did. Inhale, exhale, head comes around, shoulders come around, chest come around, keep spinning. Roll onto your right hip, plant your hands on the right side of your body and move your right hand so that you have leverage to push in your hand and your foot to come into your modified side plank on this side. Good. One more breath. And then come on down and fold. And swing your legs to one side or the other, please. And, oh, wait. First, I want to come onto your sides. And if you'd like to pad your hips with something, a blanket or a padding, because we're going to be like this, or you can put your head down on your arm if you like. But if you're comfortable with your head in your hand, do this. And then just try to stable up this right here in itself. If you put your head in a straight line with your feet, you're going to feel wobbly. Flex the feet. This is for your core strength. You're going to feel like you're going to fall backwards. Okay, so that's how you know you're in a straight line, even when you feel that. And then if you're able to let go and not fall, it's going to be difficult. If it's not difficult, you're not in a straight line. All right. Now we're going to get into the hip flexors. Bend the knees slightly so you don't have to balance your body. The lower leg. And then the upper leg, you're going to flex the foot and then lift the leg up and then down. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So these are our adductor muscles, or abductor muscles, excuse me. And then up and then down. So now point your toes down. So your hip's going to come forward a little bit. And now raise the leg again with the toes pointing down. This gets more into the glutes. Good. Okay. Now bend both knees. Put your ankles together and then separate the knees like a clamshell. So you're going to open your knees apart and then close them. Open them and then close them. Open and then close. Open and close. Open and close. Open and close. All right, one last one. Rest your top leg in front. Straighten your bottom leg. Top leg can be bent. And we're going to lift the bottom leg. Flex the foot and then lift and then lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. And again. And again. Okay, that's good. Now let's switch sides. If you're comfortable with your head in your hand, that's where you would want to be. If you're not, you can rest your head on your arm. And we're going to start in this balancing core pose. So get your body in a straight line. Use your front hand just to steady yourself up. Flex the feet until you get to the point where you feel like you're going to fall backwards. That's when you know you're there. And then just play with it. Just play with just tightening your core muscles to stay in that position. Like bring the ribs together in the front of your body. Okay, good. Bend the lower leg. Flex the top foot, and then we're going to lift the leg up and then down. Up and down. Up. Down, up, down, up, down, again, 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 and again. Now we're going to point the toes down, bring the leg slightly in front, and then lift it with the toes pointing down. So I'm hoping that you kind of feel this more in your glutes now. Once more, and then down. Okay. Now, knees together, bent. Clamshell opening. So your ankles are together, your knees come apart, open, and then close, open, and then close like a clamshell. Really good for your hip flexors. Again, and once more. Now you're going to take the top leg and just rest it in front of the bottom leg, straighten the bottom leg, flex the bottom foot, and then you're going to raise it up and then down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, again, and again, and again. Okay, very, very good. Roll onto your backs. With knees bent. Bring your knees into your chest, lace your fingers around your shins and hug the knees in as tightly as you can. Roll on your spine a little bit, massage your back. And we're about to go into another core stabilizing exercise. It's called the low boat or a half low boat. I'm going to show you what it's like. I'm going to give you an option. From here, you're going to take a deep breath, lift your head and shoulders, bring your nose towards your knees. Okay, that's step number one. Step number two, let go of your knees, take your fingers and lightly hold your head. Don't push on it, just let it rest there so your neck is soft. And then step number three, you're going to either put one leg on the mat and straighten the other leg to eye level, or you're going to straighten both legs to eye level. Either way, and all the while you're holding the back of your head so you're not straining your neck. And then breathe, push the low back into the mat. If your low back is off the mat, just raise your legs higher so that the back stays down. And then take one more breath here, and then bring the knees in, hug knees into the chest. Okay, so we're going to do that again. This time, if you bent one knee and kept it on the mat, do the opposite knee. Inhale, exhale, roll the spine up, nose to your knees. Let go of your knees, fingers behind your head softly. Either put one foot down the mat and lengthen the other to eye level, or both to eye level, and breathe. Eye level or higher is good too. Just make sure that low back is, think about knitting your rib cage together in the front. That'll help a lot to get the back down. Okay, then bend both knees, hug them both into your chest, roll around. And now come to one side or the other. And now we're going to come into our table position. Patting the knees here as you like. All right. This is one of the best things that you can do for your spinal health every day is your cat-cow, and then we're going to grease the hinges. So take a deep breath. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. This is toward a child pose, and I call this greasing the hinges because you're lubricating all your joints, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your wrists. And then come back up to table as you inhale slowly and deeply. Exhale, tuck your toes and arch your spine into your cat. Do it slowly so you can really feel your vertebra open here, pushing the mat away with your hands, tucking the tailbone underneath. Feel your shoulder blades separate. And then slowly through your nose, making the breath last, untuck everything, drop your belly down, untuck your toes, push your shoulders back and come into your cow pose. The opposite of the cat. And then exhale very slowly as you sit back towards your heels, toward child pose. Inhale slowly back to table. Exhale, let your right hand come out to the side and twist. Inhale. Exhale, that hand comes down. Inhale. Exhale, right knee comes into the chest, tuck your chin, bring your nose to your knee, hold this flexion for just a breath or two. So you're still pushing your spine now. You should feel your spine like a cat pose here. And then kick the right leg back behind you, make it parallel to your mat, and we'll come into our balancing table. Find a focal point and breathe. One more core stabilization movement here. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hand down, bring the foot down, but leave the foot extended behind you. We're going to swing it out to the side, perpendicular to our body. Good. Plant weight in the left hand and raise the right arm up as you twist. And that hand comes down. Now, we're going to walk this foot forward so that it's even with our hands or forward of our hands. And we're going to come into lizard pose. So if you want to use blocks here, you have several options. You can stay on your hands like this. You can use blocks to bring your forearms down. Or if you've got flexible hips, you can bring your forearms down to the mat. Do whatever stage suits your body. Just make sure there's not too acute of a bend in this knee. Good. Okay, if you're on your forearms, slowly push up. Bring your leg back out to the side, perpendicular to your body. So line your foot up with your knee. And now if you want to take your block with you, you can walk your hands to the left, line up your left hand with the knee lines up with the foot, and your right arm comes up to the ceiling. Now take your hand or your block, move it away from you a little bit so that you can raise your leg off the mat. Now, take a deep breath here. Exhale, dip your toe down and then lift it back up. Down and then up, down and then up, down and up, again and up and down and again and down. And go ahead and leave it down this time. Plant the foot, toes pointing forward. Bring the right arm beside the ear as close as you can get it and stretch the fingertips. Bring the hand back up and then walk both hands forward. Bring the knee back in, back to our starting point table pose. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. Inhale to table. Exhale, cat back. Inhale, slowly drop the belly down, come into your cow pose. Exhale, sit all the way back to your heels. Inhale, slowly come back to table. Exhale, left arm twist out and up to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, that hand comes down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, left knee into the chest, tuck your chin, nose to knee. And then left leg goes straight behind, right arm comes up, balancing table. One more breath. Hand comes down, leg comes down behind you and swings out perpendicular to your body. Line up the foot with the knee, put weight into the right hand and twist open to the left. Left hand comes down, walk this foot forward so that you're forward of your head. Have a wide-ish angle in the knee and then come into your lizard pose using blocks or the mat or staying up on your hands, whichever suits your body the most. Just be careful not to have too acute of a bend in the knee. It puts a lot of pressure. on it. All right, please push back to your hands if you're not there already. Bring the leg back so that it's perpendicular to your body. Line it up with your knee, toes pointing forward. Watch your hand or block to place it in line with your knee and your foot, and your left arm comes up to the ceiling into this Ardha Mandalasana, it's called. Okay, now you're going to walk your hand out for leverage to lift the leg, and then dip and up and lower and up and then down and up, down, up, again, up, breathe, up, smile, up, again and again and again and again. And then pause now with the foot down, pointing forward. Bring your left arm by your ear, stretch the fingertips away. Really feel opening up in your left ribs. Push down in that left foot to help enhance that stretch. And then bring the hand back up and then down. Walk your hands back forward, bring your knee back in and move back on your mat so that you have plenty of room in front to come into puppy pose. So this means your hips are going to stay in the air up. So it's not like a child pose. Your hands are going to walk forward, far, far forward, and your head's going to rest between your arms. It doesn't come down to the mat. Your chest melts down toward the mat, but everything is off the mat. Your wrists are off the mat. Your forearms are off the mat. Your fingers are spread wide, shoulder width apart. And while you're here, squeeze your forearms toward each other so you can feel your shoulders rolling out. This is what the top half of a downward facing dog will feel like. And now we'll walk our hands in a little bit and then curl your toes under and push up to your downward dog, trying to remember the feeling you just had in that upper part of your body. Spread the fingers wide, squeeze the forearms toward each other. So when you do that, you feel the shoulders roll out, bend the knees so that your hips go way up in the air. And then bend the knees, walk up to the hands. And pause here for a moment in this forward fold. So starting here with bent knees, the hamstrings behind your legs are, in the back of your legs are very important for your knees. So we're going to stretch them gently here by pedaling one knee and then the other. Not too much, just enough to feel a nice stretch. And then very slowly rise up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra and Tadasana, mountain pose. So in mountain pose, you don't want to lock your knees. Just be natural with your knees, with just a natural micro bend in them, but you do want to rotate your thighs inwards slightly. So your kneecaps will be slightly in and not directly over your feet. Belly in, chest open, shoulders down, and breathe, neutral spine. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up with the fingertips. Exhale, crescent to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent left. Now, if you look up under your shoulder, again, you're going to feel that shoulder go back a little bit. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, right into a crescent. Look up underneath the left arm. This is good for the hips and the legs strengthening, bearing weight. Inhale back up. And then exhale, come into your chair pose, which is really good for your legs. So make sure that you distribute your weight in your feet. Look down to see the tips of your toenails. Tailbone down so you don't have an arch in your low back. And then inhale back up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent left. So this is a rib cage opener. Also, inhale back to center. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent right. Every time we go this way, maybe you can get a little deeper. Maybe you can get your arm beside your ear a little closer. Keep that shoulder a little more back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, open your arms in a T. You sit in the chair still. And then exhale, twist to the right. Take your left hand on the outside of the right leg, right arm behind you, reach. Inhale, back to center, into chair. Exhale, come all the way up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. You might feel all these chair poses tomorrow. Inhale, open arms in a T. Exhale, twist. But that would be good. Left arm way back behind you, because that means your muscles are working for you. And of course, I don't have to tell anybody, if you feel any pain doing this, then you have to stop. And then inhale, back to center. Exhale up. Arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana. Again, inhale up. Exhale, hands together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. This time we're going to bring our hands together, bring them into our heart, twist to the right, and see if we can hook the elbow onto the outside of the right leg. In a twisted chair. Sink a little deeper, maybe into the chair, as long as your knees aren't hurting. And then back forward into the regular chair, and then all the way back up. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, push up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Make sure you distribute your weight in all four corners of your feet. Hands come together into your heart center. Twist left. See if you can hook the right elbow to the outside of the left leg. Maybe sit a little deeper in the chair. Inhale forward to chair. Come on all the way up. Exhale. Arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Tadasana. Okay. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crescent right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, chair pose. Utkatasana, tailbone down. Distribute the weight. Inhale. Palms together. Exhale, bring them into heart center. Twist to the right. Hook the elbow. Inhale back to center to your regular chair. Exhale with bent knees, bring your hands down. Take your left hand onto your right ankle or shin. With both knees bent, you're going to take your right arm out to the side and up to the ceiling as you straighten the right leg. Keep the left knee bent. And then that arm comes down, come back to chair, come all the way up, inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crescent left. Inhale, center. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Hands together, come into your heart center, twist to the left, hook the right elbow. Back to chair pose. And bring your hands down with bent knees. Right hand goes onto the left ankle or calf. And left arm comes out to the side, up to the ceiling as you straighten your left leg. Keep the right knee bent. Inhale, both legs down. And then slowly come back up to chair. And then all the way up, inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. And Tadasana, mountain pose. Rest for a couple of breaths. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold all the way down. You can use your blocks here if you would like. We're going to step the left foot back. Left foot back, yeah. And what's that? High lunge. Okay, yes, come into your high lunge. So you want your back leg bent. You don't want it locked here. Okay, and then come on down. Walk your hands, bring your right arm on the inside of the leg and walk your hands to the long edge of your mat. So you're in a wide stride forward fold here. Bend the knees, slowly come on up. You're going to come into your 5-pointed star. Now, bring your arms down, pick up your heels and walk them in and point the toes outward. So we're going to come into a goddess pose. You want to make sure your knees are coming, when you squat down with your bottom, the knees are going in the same direction as your feet, okay? So your ribs are coming up, your tailbone's down. You're really mentally thinking about rolling your thighs outward as you bring your arms up in the goddess pose. This is really good for leg strength. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Smile, smile, smile. Okay, straighten the legs. Point your feet back forward. And then you're going to take your right foot, point it away from you. Pick up your left foot, put the heel back a little bit, and come into your warrior two. So your head's going to turn and face the front hand. Make sure your tailbone's down, belly's in, chest up, shoulders down. Straighten the front leg. Flip your palms up and then bring the front hand over your head and then turn your head to look behind to the back hand. And then bring your arm up, keep the palms up, bend the front knee, put the palms down, turn the head to look forward. Okay, once again, straighten the front leg, bring the palms up, front hand goes over your head, turn the head to look to the back, and then bring your arms back, palms up, bend the front knee, palms down. Good. Pivot both feet forward, come back down to your wide stride forward fold. So now we're just going to walk our hands back to the front of our mat by pivoting back to our lunge. And then you're going to step back to plank. And then downward facing dog. Kick up your right leg back up behind you, swing it up between your hands, and step up with your left foot. And then slowly come on up. Inhale. Exhale, arms in a T. Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale, exhale, right foot steps back. Come into your high lunge. So get your core stabilized here, get light in your fingertips. Make sure, this is important in this high lunge, that your knee is over the ankle. That's really important. And then the back leg is slightly bent. Really tighten up the back quads so you can support yourself here. This is really good. Inhale, exhale, hands come down. Walk to the inside of the left leg, walk your hands to the opposite side of the mat than you just were. And then slowly come up into your 5-pointed star. Now this time we're going to put our hands on our hips, point our toes out like we just did, and come into goddess pose again, except this time we're going to bring our hands to our thighs with our fingers pointing forward. And then we're going to shift our weight to the left, bring your right shoulder down, and then come back to center, shift the weight to the right, bringing your left shoulder down. Come back to center, come back up to your 5-pointed star, and this time your left foot will point forward, right heel goes back, come into your warrior 2 on this side, shoulders down, palms down, looking forward. Okay, palms flip up, straighten the front leg, front hand comes over the head, turn your head to look behind. Bring the arm back down, palms facing up, bend the front knee, palms down, turn the head. Palms up, straighten the front leg, front arm over the head, turn the head to look to the other hand. And then both arms come open, bend the front knee, turn your head forward, palms down. Good. Okay, so from here now we're gonna, let's see, where are we? We're gonna walk, pivot to the front of our mat again. To our lunge, step back to plank and downward facing dog. And then knees come down, sit back to child pose. Thankfully, rest your head on something. Okay, please push up, come onto your backs with your head facing toward me. And grab a block, handy, the block handy. But before we do take them on the block, we're going to do something else. Take your block and put it between your upper thighs, avoiding the knees. So it's between the upper thighs. You can put it either skinny ways or wide ways, depending on what feels better to you, because we're going to squeeze the block in with our legs. Now, your feet are close to your buttocks. Squeeze the block so you can feel your legs engage. Bring your shoulders down onto the mat. Bring your arms up so that they're robot arms, palms facing each other, fingers up to the ceiling. And we're going to push into our feet while we squeeze that block and come into a bridge pose. So when you raise your spine off the mat, curl up to your shoulders, chest coming toward your chin, keep squeezing that block. And then slowly roll down. Bring your hands to your thighs, push your back into the mat for a second. And we're going to come back one more time. Come back to robot arms, palms facing each other. Squeeze the block as you lift your hips. Bring the chest up towards your chin. Maybe even walk your shoulders together when you get up there. Breathe, keep squeezing the block. And then slowly, slowly, slowly lower down. Remove your block. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs, push your back into the mat. And now take the block underneath of your sacrum. And you can stay here now in the supported bridge, or legs float up into the air for a little bit. Your choice. Or do both. Now, please lower your legs if they're up. Remove your block. Walk your feet together. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees fall out to the sides, your arms in a T. Relax for a few breaths here in this Supta Baddha Konasana, it's called. And then lift your chin just slightly here so that you're opening your throat as a counter pose to what we just did. And then take a few more breaths, slowing down your breathing. And then please bring your knees together and come into your Shavasana. Now I want to give you a tip. Those of you that have sore backs even a little bit, you might want to roll up something, a blanket ideally, and place it underneath your knees when you come into Shavasana. Like so, it makes a huge difference on the pressure of your back. And then just relax here while I put on some Shavasana music while you focus on your breath. Please bring your awareness back to your breath and deepen your breathing as you make small movements to gently wake up your body. Please bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And now, please, very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push up to seated. And please join me with the closing chant. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Victory to the Cat Rock Yoga class and to the inner teacher. Jai Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai.